It's the Bitcoin ETF on its way of getting approved by the SEC. In this episode, we're going to talk about the latest steps by the SEC regarding Bitcoin. And if this Bitcoin ETF can get approved, what would it mean for the crypto world, investing world, and also what's in it for investors? But ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't done so, go ahead. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, hit that like, comment, and share button. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, you are now tuned into the Investor Show. As always, this is your gracious host, the Prince of Investing, Prince Dykes, coming to you guys and girls live all the way from the beautiful city and state of Denver, Colorado. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share button. And as always, I don't have a lot of time, and I definitely know you guys and girls don't have a lot of time. So let's jump straight into it, ladies and gentlemen. You tune into the show right now. What I'm sharing on my screen is Form S1. The Form S1 is the form that people put out to initially start crypto to start anything. Hey, I'm going to IPO in a month or two or whatever. It's the document that you put out to get approved by the SEC to be exchanged, to be traded on the exchange. For a prime example, let's say if you got a brand new company like Google that wants to become publicly traded, it has to file an S1, get approved. The S1 gets approved before they can IPO, which is the initial public offering. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what I have pulled up in front of your screen, we talked about in the past where we had different, Fidelity and other companies that came out saying it's going to create an ETF. But this is one of the ones that came out today that the SEC is talking about pushing back this Bitcoin ETF until June, which is a major milestone. Let's go back into 2013. You got to know your history in order to know where you're going. You got to know where you've been. 2013, they have already tried to legalize the ETF, or get one publicly traded, but it was shot down back then in 2013. Now you're looking at 8 years later? 8 years later, they're trying it again. This company is called VanEck. Is the big one here, the VanEck Bitcoin Trust. They're the big ones. They're kind of the head honchos that you're seeing running in the news, and I can see why once we get a little bit more into the show as we talk about who they are. Now, what does this mean for the cryptocurrency world? Now, the first thing is back in 2013, 8 years ago, this was not approved because Bitcoin has come a long way from 2013 until now, as I'm seeing it firm up. Now, when you have an ETF, and an ETF is an exchange traded fund. Now, let's think about it. We have like $26 trillion in retirement accounts. So you have retirement accounts all across the globe. You got to think about it. Everybody that works at Google and Amazon, how many people here has a 401k or 401, 403, or 457, all these different retirement accounts. Right now, in these retirement accounts, only ETF stocks mostly can be purchased, maybe some bonds, where it's mostly stocks, bonds, things like that. Bitcoin is not allowed to be there. The only way a person can go get Bitcoin is to go out on some other exchange like a Coinbase or, the plethora of apps that are out there. But for sophisticated investors and for retail investors, they don't have access. You cannot go to E-Trade and buy Dogecoin, or you cannot go to E-Trade and buy Ethereum. You cannot go to TD Ameritrade, all the major brokers, nobody is offering a cryptocurrency. So with that being said, there is a lot of bent up pressure that are in those large brokers. You're probably talking about trillions of dollars sitting inside of these large brokers that these investment advisors cannot go out and put Bitcoin inside of someone's retirement account, which is a floodgate of money. Now, if you have something like this ETF, if this ETF gets approved and is placed onto the market, now this opens them up to what? Now these can be added to things like retirement accounts. They can be purchased on E-Trade, TD Ameritrade, Charles Schwab, Robinhood, any app out there that you can name. If it is traded on a major stock market, anybody can have access to buy it. Now, what does that mean for the crypto world? That brings in a floodgate of new money that could potentially be going to crypto. Now, you notice right here in this ETF, they're talking about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the one they want to follow. Bitcoin, the ones that want to do everything like that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're catching this live, go ahead and hit, comment, tell me where you're from, and I will get to it towards the end. Now, you look at this trust right here. Some people say it's going to get approved, maybe approved in June. Then I seen somebody say maybe in maybe a year or two from now, who knows? But it is definitely firming up. It was kind of laughable in 2013. Now people are like, hey, you know what? We might have something here. A lot of ETFs and brokers is kind of want to get access and exposure because everybody wants those returns. I think Bitcoin is up almost 100% so far this year, if not more. Don't quote me on that. But you're looking at people saying, man, I want to get it. I want some of those returns. So investors are sitting on the sideline wanting to get a piece, but right now they really don't have access to it 100% unless they go out to an outside exchange. So right here, you see this, the only one they're looking at is Bitcoin. I haven't seen anything else in here. So this VanEck Bitcoin Trust is an exchange traded fund that issues common shares of a beneficiary interest. So all this thing is going to do is follow this ETF called the MIVS Crypto Comparison Ethereum benchmark. So let's take a look at this here because this is a major player because this is what this thing is going to be following. Y'all let me share my screen here 1 second. Let me pull it up. Let me share the screen so y'all can read with me. I'm getting this off of Yahoo Finance, learning a little bit more about the ETF that is going to right here. So you have an ETF here, the MIVS Crypto Compared Ethereum Benchmark, ticker EBR, and the MIVS Crypto Compared Bitcoin benchmark rate, the BBR, serves as the reference for the funds, asset managers, and exchanges who wish to build financial products such as derivatives and ETPs on Ethereum and Bitcoin. So right now you're seeing the top two are like Ethereum and Bitcoin. Those are the ones you're seeing everybody talk about. They aggravated transaction prices to go up on the top 5 exchanges selected by the Crypto Compared Rate Exchange benchmark. This is pretty much, this ETF is coming out and you look at the structure of the S1 and this is what it's talking about doing. It's saying all we want to do is follow this particular benchmark. But what this does is this brings more exposure, more firming of the financial of cryptocurrency. This is where it's really catching my eye as I see institutions are building an infrastructure around cryptocurrency, especially if this thing can get approved to get this ETF. Because think about it, now it's an ETF. Now somebody say, hey, you know what? I probably won't log on to Coinbase and buy Ripple, but I will buy an ETF. More importantly, you have investment advisors who control billions of dollars that says, hey, you know what? I get a little exposure to cryptocurrencies to my investors. That's where the money really resides, right? So when you're looking at individual people, that's okay. You might get a couple million, but when you get these retirement pension fund controllers, when they can go in and bring exposure to retirement funds, man, you got something different there. Imagine if you had it in a 401k where you could invest into cryptocurrency or had exposure to some type of cryptocurrency, right? So this is what this is starting that road path of, which is very huge for the crypto market. And I may increase my little holdings and dabblings, right? But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys and girls got something out of that. The SEC is making steps to approve this thing, this Bitcoin ETF, which can be very big for the entire industry. I thank you guys and girls for tuning in and dropping your comments and telling me what you think. But I definitely want to appreciate it. All right, let me see what we got here before I head out of here. Lucky's mom, she says, good afternoon. She said, I'm definitely waiting for Fidelity to come out with their ETF for crypto. Yes, I haven't seen anything about the Fidelity. I've seen about it, but I haven't seen anybody speaking about it. The one they're kind of pushing right now and speaking about is this Bitcoin, this company here, VanEck or whatever. They are only focusing on Bitcoin. They're not focusing on Bitcoin. It's the one they're kind of pushing in the S1. You don't see them talking about Doge and all. It's like 9,000. They're only talking about the biggest one. So we're going to see. Oh, okay. Max B is hilarious. Max B is hilarious. He said, when are we getting the investor show coin? That's pretty funny. Now, that is funny because it can really happen. Anybody, I mean, these cryptocurrencies, there's like 9,000 out here, and anybody can create a cryptocurrency, right? But this is huge for the crypto world to see the SEC making steps to approve them to open up their doors to business, to things they can do. This is like a mom and pop shop that's turned into a franchise almost. So yeah, very big. They're very big. I'm definitely going to be following this. I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on it. And you stay tuned into the Investor Show because we're going to watch this thing together. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get out of here. I definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in. And to the next video, podcast, cartoon, or whatever else crazy you see me do around the globe. My name is Prince Dykes. This is the Investor Show. Peace. Be safe. I'm out, and thank you.